Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I am the Crypto Crow here with DBX.one's one and only Tommy Wen. We'll be right back right after this brief disclaimer. Stick around.
Wow, I think that will be cool because my first time of doing YouTube videos, that is a live
Grow your coins, you gotta grow your coins. Grow your coins.
some guys in the background. Okay, so I'm the founder of ByBit.
Hold on, Tommy. Hold on.
It's not my fault.
Hold on. My disclaimer is going.
Okay.
And we're back. Tommy's just ready to go, people. He's just ready to go. Keep in mind, he's on a bit of a delay. So I told him, I said, when the disclaimer's going, everything and anything you do or say, everyone will hear you. And then as soon as it started, he just started talking. So he's ready to go. What's up, Tommy?
Okay, it's cool. And it's a bit freezing in Beijing because it's the end of the summer.
Yeah, it's still hot as hell here. It was 100 degrees a couple days ago. So yeah, it was a toasty one. You're all the way in Beijing, so it's crazy. Technology is amazing, isn't it? The fact that I can look at you and sit here and talk to you from across the world, it's amazing.
Oh, that would be very cool. It's actually my first time of doing the YouTube live show, so it's my first time live streaming, and I might be a little intense.
That's okay.
Yeah, and a little moved, Well, the whole world.
The whole world. Well, hello, Big Crow. Crow, I found out what the colored dots mean, and the trend lines. Yes, and we are live. So, so here we go. So here's where I'd like to start. I mean, ultimately, actually, I'm going to pull up your website and just and be browsing it a little bit while you're tell me what exactly is DBX.one? It looks like an Xbox One logo. Does it have to?
DBX is the stock code for the Dropbox. And the stock market code is DBX. Okay, that's a coin.
Okay, so this is like Dropbox on the blockchain.
But we have nothing with Dropbox. It's just a coincidence.
Okay, so it's well, I'm looking at the logo behind you, the neon green with the DBX.one. Yeah. I'm like, is this a new Xbox reveal? Like what?
So let me have a brief introduction to my project.
Sure.
That is DBX. Okay. So actually, I know all people are asking, what is DBX? Actually, DBX stands for Database X. That is database that is extra large. And we actually began our project in 2016. That's in November. So that will be about 2 years. And actually, we focus on data exchange and real-world applications. These are the two major features of our public blockchain. And actually, the fun fact, actually it's not fun, is that we have our ICO. We did not have that until our testnet was done, until our GitHub was open source, until our wallet was launched, until our first DApp is launched. So actually, we've done a lot of things before the ICO. That's our fun fact. Actually, not fun.
Did that make it easier for you Like is your ICO coming up, or did it already happen?
I think our ICO is coming in a few days.
Okay.
So people can do that.
So considering the fact that you did all of this work and you have all this stuff readily available prior to ICO, did it make it easier for you, like with U.S. regulations? Is it classified as a utility token or a security? Do you know?
Actually, we are waiting for our legal opinion still, but we believe that we will have a pass because actually we've done so much of the works and we just focus on the data exchange and the real-world application facts. So actually, I think we are far distant from the security backs.
Okay, so that if you did get that pass, will your ICO be available in the U.S.?
I believe so. It will be very soon.
Okay, so we'll know soon what the status on that is.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. That's the one big thing that a lot of the U.S. viewers complain about are the ICOs that, because I know that with the SEC, they say, look, if you're just trying to launch an ICO for a token in a project that doesn't even exist yet, then everything you do is based on speculative value, which means it's a security. But if you have a project that's working and it's functioning and you have all your eggs in the basket, then you could potentially be considered a utility token at ICO and be able to engage U.S. investors. So that'd be pretty nice. Okay, so I'll leave it at that then, and I'll let you continue.
Okay, so I may have more description about our project because our project is a public blockchain, so it's like ETH, Ethereum, or the EOS network. So why DBX? Why are we doing DBX? Because actually we want to make a new public blockchain that is really friendly to the real-world applications. Because we've seen so many the public chain projects. Often they are focusing on the financial parts. They care more about whether we can make a coin or whether we can make a ICO or DA ICO or this kind of stuff. I think these are the financial parts, and too many people are paying their attention to the financial parts of the public blockchain. But we strongly believe that blockchain is a new technology that will change the world. So actually, we invest a lot of our time, of our coders, including myself, to build a new public blockchain that is very friendly for users, for real-world applications. For example, actually, we've done a lot of works on how to be friendly to high-load applications, because we know like payments, like a lot of internet projects, they are the real-world application, but they have very high load. They have very high volume of visits, a lot of visitors, or at very short time there are a lot of stream, lot of traffic. So actually, Ethereum cannot deal with them very well, and the US network has a lot of problem. I will describe about that. And actually, DBX chain is focused on the data exchange fact. We actually use very different generalization. So we use data exchange instead of the transactions used to be used in the old blockchain, in all the blockchains currently. Because I think most of the blockchain pay too much attention on the transaction facts. We have to generalize everything to transaction. But I don't think this is very friendly for real-world applications. DBX chain actually generalize all the stuff happening on the blockchain world. We generalize them with data transaction, data exchange. That is not money transaction. So we don't have to, use a lot of words to pretend to have a lot of transactions. That's many public blockchain, the problem of them, because they have to require you to define all the things as transactions. But with DBX chain don't have to. We just have to define the data exchange. Actually, in the real world, most of the applications, they use data exchange. For example, if you listen to the online music, they are live streaming the music to you. So most of the works that are being done is actually data transactions, data exchange. It's just once happened when the transaction is happened, is that when you buy the music, when you pay, for example, pay to Apple, and then the money transaction is done within seconds. That is a transaction part of the application. But most of the parts are based on data exchange. So that's why we make the DBX chain. we actually design a lot of utilities that is very friendly for the real-world application designing. That is for data exchange and for the high-load, high-traffic utilities, like if you have to build a payment system that is with a lot of users at the same time and with very high load, very, very busy traffic, we will design the structure, especially for these reality applications, so that they can actually use one side to receive a lot of requests from the users, like a lot of people are paying, and another side prepared to record them on the blockchain so that it can be decentralized, it can be trusted. So that is the major feature of our chain. And considering that people are considering about the fact that which kind of consensus mechanism we use, we have a very unique one. That is D-DPoS. Okay, so everybody will ask me about what is D-DPoS?
Yeah, I do not know what that is.
Yeah. Pardon?
Oh, I said, yeah, I have no idea what it is. I was going to ask you that.
Of course, nobody has the idea because we are the first blockchain utilizing this idea of D-DPoS. Many people told us that we misspelled because we have placed another D before that. But that is D-DPoS. That is exactly what we use. And actually, that is what we create. We actually create this kind of mechanism. Why is that? Because we believe that EOS utilized DPoS, which is very important for the efficiency improvement. Because we all know that we have to improve the efficiency of the network so that it can actually receive the load of the real-world applications. But with the efficiency improved, we have another problem, that is bribery, low polling rate, low voting rate, and security. Those are the very famous EOS disadvantages. So we designed a new consensus mechanism that is called data-based delegated proof of stake. So for
that's a big word. A big change.
That is actually a very complicated system to design because actually we try to balance the efficiency and the decentralization thing. Most of people think that they cannot be balanced, but we'd like to, that takes a challenge. And we spent nearly, that is about 1.5 years to code because our GitHub has already gone live. We have our GitHub, most of our code has been open sourced. So you can check out our code on the GitHub website. But we actually spend a lot of time to code the idea. So
are you privately funded? Because you haven't even launched an ICO yet. Most companies with these grand ideas, they're just trying to get public money.
They will launch ICO first. Yeah, I know they will do that because most of the friends in the blockchain industry, especially in China, they think I am a fool. I'm a very fool guy. But I have very special principle for me. Maybe that is very rare for Chinese because I know that most of people will think that the Chinese projects, they are all scams.
Yes, that's what we're told daily.
Actually, most of them are. I agree.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because I know a lot of friends in Beijing, in China, they are doing so-called blockchain and they are actually doing scams.
Really?
So
name them all right now.
yeah. Actually, we know a lot of them.
Yeah.
Because I think that most of the Chinese developers, they just so eager to get the money. Mm-hmm. They are so eager to get rich.
Yeah, and it's a shame that it's like that because what brought me into the space is just the thrill of the technology. I mean, it's the innovation that drives my interest. The money is like, I've kind of learned that if you focus on the technology and you focus on learning the technology, the money comes. Because we're at such a ground floor with all of this stuff that if you're just passionate about something and you're a part of it, the money just comes because it's, it's all early levels. This is like, the internet when it first got started. You know what I mean? So you can throw a dart for the most part. Even the scam coins you can really kind of profit from, I mean, to be honest. So that's just kind of how it is. So you're basically, but I am curious, like, how did you get like venture capital funding to get you this far? Like, what did you do?
We have a very early venture capital investing that is from one of my old friends, also my alumni.
Okay.
He actually granted me with around that is about $500,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've gotten this far on $500,000, and a lot of these other companies are trying to get $100 million before they've even done anything.
With the money I earned in my university years, the company, the technology company in Beijing, that is the office, that is my company, has been nearly a decade.
Oh.
I built that in my freshman year, the second half of my freshman year.
So you're an underachiever. Is that what you're trying to tell me? You're an underachiever?
Kind of that. Yeah, I indeed make some kind of money. That is about $2 million in my university years, in my college years.
Holy cow. Let's get into you a little bit. You sound kind of interesting. I mean, what is your background? How old are you? You look like you're 25.
It's near. I'm 28 years old.
Okay. I mean, that's not a bad thing.
I was born in a very special year because I'm in Beijing. I cannot talk that too much. That is 1989. Yeah, stop talking.
No, never stop talking. I
was born in a teacher's. My father used to be a teacher, and my mother used to be a teacher. My mother was a teacher in a kindergarten.
Really? My daughter just started kindergarten.
Years.
So basically, you got some initial capital, and then you took that and ultimately built the company that you run today that is now launching this blockchain platform.
Yeah, in 2016.
Very, very good.
So the company was built in 2009.
Wow. Okay.
And it's a technology development company.
So you've been developing this project. So you've been developing DBX.one now for a year and a half, 2 years?
Nearly 2 years. That's from November 2016.
That was the year of my 30th birthday.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
Not really. I'm kind of old. But yeah, November is my birthday month. Hey, Crow, 6 a.m. here. Cool guy. Yeah, people are digging you. That's good. Okay, so, wow, I mean, this is actually pretty interesting. So this isn't just a utility token. This is your own blockchain that you're developing.
Yeah.
I like blockchains. Everybody knows I like new blockchains. So now, and I've got your white paper open, and I've been kind of scrolling through some of this stuff, just looking at little points. I see some mathematical equations that I'll never understand in my lifetime. So I'll let the people smarter than me figure this stuff out. So what do you think your primary use case for this blockchain is going to be? Like, what's going to bring you mass adoption for this project?
I think it will be most of the things regarded with payments, because we know that the first use case and the most profitable use case of blockchain must be payments. Mm-hmm. We used to use Bitcoin, try to make payments, right? We have the Lightning Network, that is a layer 2 project. Mm-hmm. So actually, for the old consensus mechanisms, and it's not old, it's just the mechanism. For the POW, proof of work, mm-hmm. Actually, most of the people, they indeed believe in POW. But POW has a huge problem. That is with its TPS, transaction per second.
Right.
For the blockchain, that is under 10. And for a Ethereum network, currently it is about 16 to 17, I believe. So actually, this kind of slow speed and a lot of traffic jam, Ethereum is currently in traffic jam because we are paying somebody Ethereum and he still did not receive it. So for this, it's actually quite distant from real-world application, from mass adoption,
Right.
because they are too slow. And actually, I believe that Lightning Network, they are a good idea because they are trying to build a lightning fast paying network, so they have offline stuff, so they can build a layer 2, very good layer 2 project for Bitcoin and Ethereum, this kind of proof of work project to get you the payment. But the problem is that they cannot be 100% secure about the payment is being paid and has already been paid.
Here's the
They
thing.
cannot 100% prove that. They take risk.
The one thing that I see a lot of these blockchains, and they say, well, we want to focus on payments. But I never hear the one thing that would make that blockchain probably the most used, hodled blockchain coin on the market. And that is the ability to pull back a payment within a certain period of time. I mean, seriously, because if you think,
high risk. That's a problem with the POW network because the efficiency based on the proof of logic, they cannot be high. Otherwise, they cannot be proof of work.
Well, think about it this way. You've got some DBX coins on your wallet. For some reason, somehow, some way, either your computer is hacked or something is hacked and some hacker sends these coins out somewhere. You've got no recourse. There's nothing you can really do about it. And not just DBX, any crypto on the market, really. And so by having the ability or having some sort of system to draw those funds back from wherever they were, kind of going back in time on that particular block or whatever, I don't know how the hell it could be done. But just having that AML, like any KYC, that's why there are some other projects out there where this data kind of follows it. It's a big deal because security, I mean, when we're talking about taking all of the fiat currency in the world, ultimately, and migrating into the blockchain, we have to have, if I send you money through my bank and I say, oh, he didn't send me the product I bought, well, they can refund it. You can't do that with crypto, right? I mean, really?
Actually,
can you?
Point. Actually, we can control this kind of manner. Let me explain this.
Do so, yeah.
Because, the problem is that with a lot of Lightning Network, with a lot of this kind of design, the problem is that the hacker can get back the money without your consent. They pay you, and then they did not tell you that they will get it back, and then they actually get it back. That is the problem. So it's all about consent, because in a deal, you must focus on the consent problem. If we make a deal, and then you can make actually a refund with consent. For example, we had a deal, we had a refund, then we have a refund. But the problem now is that a lot of POW-based crypto network, they have the problem that if you want to confirm the deal within a very short time, for example, you have to confirm the deal within 1 second. That is the industry requirement of a payment method.
To confirm the transfer.
Yeah, to confirm the transfer. But for the POW-based blockchains, they cannot confirm that 100% within a very short time. For example, for Bitcoin, they cost nearly an hour to 100% for sure, right? So actually, DBX use a different structure because we use different consensus mechanism, which I will explain later. We use different mechanism to do that so that we can ensure that the payment is confirmed within very short time, maybe within 1 second. But the refund is not possible without your will, without your consent.
And that's fine. It's like even people, obviously PayPal's not a crypto, but if there's an issue with a payment with PayPal, you submit a resolution, hey, this guy's scammed me or he sent me a bogus product, whatever. You add some support information and they mediate it. And then, if they find that it's a legitimate claim, they refund it. There needs to be some sort of system like that in crypto. There needs to be some way of saying, look, this was not a legitimate transfer for whatever reason, and here's proof, and then be able to pull those funds back. And that would probably be one of the least hacked coins on the market as well, because everybody would know, like, it doesn't matter what you get, it can be reversed, you know? And so that to me is like, that's what I'm waiting to see on a blockchain.
Wow. That's a cool idea, but I should say that based on the decentralized idea of the whole blockchain ideology, we must do that with users' consent or with some kind of consensus.
Sure, I agree with that.
It can be very terrible if a network can be, the deals can be withdrawn, can be withdrawn without your consent. Wow, so they paid you and then maybe 1 minute later they refund without your consent. And that would be terrible.
Yeah, I hear you.
So it's okay to have a refund system. We can have that.
Well,
we can have that.
Sophie Eileen, who just said refunds come back on a different line of code, said I work in money and refunds are not the same as voids.
Yeah.
Which is a good point.
Different channels.
Yeah.
Different system, different module to deal with the refund issue.
Okay. So
okay.
Let's see here. All right. Yeah, I hate to interrupt sometimes because especially when I know you're on a roll. I'm sorry. I get things that pop in my head, and if I don't spit it out, I'll completely forget.
Maybe I have more explanation with the consensus mechanism.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of digging this. I'm interested.
You cannot understand my white paper.
Oh yeah, no, I want to actually sit down and read the whole white paper at some point because this looks like some good stuff, but yeah, some of it I flat out will never understand, though. I can tell you that right now.
Believe me, very simple way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for the consensus mechanism, why DBX can be a high efficient, and secure, high secure chain. Why we can achieve efficiency and security, both of them. Because we have the D-DPoS mechanism, that is a consensus mechanism, different from DPoS, different from POW. And what is that? The first element is a passive voting. Because we all know that we use active voting, for example, for the DPoS network, because people are all going to vote. The EOS network had very serious problem with the voting rate because they just have 50% of the required votes when they are going to launch. Then when they were going to launch the major network in June. So actually we use passive voting. What is that? For example, in our DBX chain, we define everything as the exchange, right? Like transaction is a data exchange for the both sides. It's bilateral data exchange, right? So one confirms other, the other confirms one. That is a transaction, money transaction. So because we define all the things happen on the blockchain as data exchange, for each data exchange, we define them as a smart contract. Exchange data is a smart contract. So in each exchange of the data, we have a data buyer and a data seller, right? Seller sells data to the buyer. Every kind of smart contract is like this in DBX. So for the seller to sell his data or her data, and for the buyer to buy that data, in this DBX smart contract, you must invite at least one Trinity node. Trinity is the name, okay. One Trinity node you must invite for the validation of the data. So you must have kind of like a judge to judge that whether the data transaction is legal and whether the data is perfect. For example, if the data transaction, the data exchange is about a photo of an invoice, then we must invite at least one Trinity node that stands for the validation of the invoice picture to judge whether this photo is an invoice photo. It's a photo of an invoice.
How are you able to do that?
Actually, this is mature technology of data recognition. You just have to train a deep learning network. Google has been doing that very fine.
Holy
a lot
cow.
of technology has very fine. Yeah. For concerning that, if this is me, or this is not me, the technology has been mature. Yeah. So actually, we invite Trinity node to judge the data quality, so that the data buyer can ensure that the data seller is selling high quality data, selling qualified data, right? So this is easy to understand, right? It's like a contract. So this is the smart contract in DBX. Then we design a voting system that is passively voting. What is that? It's like, for example, the data seller have to invite a Trinity node to judge whether his data or her data is qualified. But the Trinity node will automatically cast the vote for the seller if the data quality is good. That is, if you are judging the data and if you are given a result that the data seller is selling good data, then you automatically vote for the selling node. The data seller, that is a node, and the node is defined as selling qualified data by the Trinity node. So the Trinity node will automatically cast a vote to the data seller because the data seller is honest, they are selling the good quality data. So this is passive voting because the Trinity node cannot vote at will. Because in the DPoS system, we know in the US system, the node can vote at will, vote at this will, at his or her will, right? This sounds like very logical, very reasonable thing, but it has huge problem of the ballot rigging. You can actually rig the whole ballot, rig the whole voting system, because you just have to build new nodes. In US, in DPoS, that is, a node has 30 votes. Every new node has 30 votes. So a lot of people just creating a lot of new nodes in order to rig the whole ballot. But in DBX chain, in the smart contract mechanism we described, it is very difficult to do that. Why? Because if you want to rig the whole ballot in DBX chain, you have to make the Trinity node tell lies. For example, if the data quality is not good at well, the photo is just blank, and you must tell the Trinity node to say that no, the buyer, the seller is selling the high quality data. You have to do that in order to cast the vote to the data seller, right? Mm-hmm. But in this way, you are actually making the Trinity node doing the wrong job, telling lies. So they will be actually sued in our mechanism by other nodes. And no data seller, no data buyer will ever be willing to invite this Trinity node that are telling lies. They will never invite this kind of node to judge the quality of the data, right? So this is an economic model. It makes the ballot rigging very, very difficult because you have to make the Trinity node tell lies. So the Trinity node will never be elected, never be liked, never be invited by other nodes to do the smart contract of data exchange.
Are you allowed to say what your ICO price is going to be?
What?
I'm just curious.
I think you are lost. You are totally lost.
No. I thought you were done explaining everything. So I'm getting questions. Basically, people are interested to find out, what the ICO price is going to be. Well, we've got about 10 minutes, so I want to make sure that we cover some of the stuff that's going to help you as well outside of the technical stuff.
Okay.
Totally
all
lost.
of the tech terminated.
Do what?
Yeah, all of the technical facts has been told.
Yes. Oh no, and it's good. I'm just looking at chat and that's it. This guy sold me on DBX's ICO. It's been a long time since I have heard a developer explain in detail the ins and outs of their project so well. Where do I sign up? So obviously DBX.one is a good place to start, even though the ICO isn't started yet. So I'm curious, what are you allowed to even say yet, or have you decided exactly what your ICO price is going to be?
Okay, the ICO price is ready to be released. It is 1 Ethereum for 25K of DBX.
25,000 coins for 1 Ethereum.
Yeah. 25,000 DBX for 1 Ethereum.
And now, what's the total? I saw 10 billion. Is the total?
Actually, the circulation will be very low. The whole circulation will be very low, because we actually, based on our latest white paper, we use a mechanism that is a mathematic model to release the token. So in the beginning, we will see that the whole circulation will be kept very low. I will tell you the detail. Okay. So you are watching the. You're looking at the white paper now. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down at the end. I'm just showing off some of your social stuff in case people want to check that out. So yeah.
Yeah. So you can check page 30. Page 30, at the bottom of the page, there is a circulation graph. You see the graph now? That's on the 30th page.
Oh, okay. I'm looking at the top number. Okay.
So you see that this year, the total circulation will be just 2 billion.
Okay. So 2 billion, and then that's going to grow, and then you're expecting that to level off.
Yeah, at about 60%, because for the rest part of 40%, we will keep it locked, because it is the foundation part and the team part.
Okay.
Because we have a lot of faith in this project, we will not, release them at will.
Now, and the way you're going to basically so you're ultimately saying you're going to initially buy DBX tokens, and then you're going to launch a node, right? And then that node is going to mint new tokens over time?
Yeah.
Perfect.
This kind of.
I like that kind of stuff.
So actually, we've designed this ICO for about 2 months. We've considered a lot of, the experience of the latest ICOs. We have very different value from a lot of projects that just an idea for ICO. We've done most of the thing, I think. The first version of the blockchain and the wallet and the testnet and the first D app, that is data game. So actually we've done, I think, most of the parts of the works to be done for the first version. So actually we are now in the process of improving the project, and then we began our ICO.
Beautiful. This is interesting. Okay, so this is something that I've been asking more companies lately. You've got the crypto market. We're in a bear market. Hopefully, maybe starting to turn around a little bit. Hopefully, if Bitcoin can break 7,500 soon, then we might start a nice little run. But the number of eyeballs in the crypto space are much fewer and farther between than they were 6 months ago, right? People have been losing interest. There's nothing truly exciting going on, drawing in newcomers. It's just been a very kind of dead sea, right?
Yeah.
Now, how long? First of all, when you launch your ICO, how long is it going to run for? I assume maybe 30 days, or are you going longer term?
That is about 30 days.
Okay. And so once the ICO is concluded, what's your marketing plan? I mean, what are you looking to do to acquire new users outside of I have a conference that I'm doing in February. I'm hosting my own conference specifically for mass adoption. If your people are interested, have them hit me up. But I'm doing this specifically because I just don't see a lot of marketing activity on behalf of a lot of these crypto companies, because they pulled in hundreds of thousands of Ether, when Ether was $1,000 plus, and then the market came down. Everybody's funds were basically cut into fractions, and so now not many people are out there doing anything. Do you have a best case, worst case marketing plan post ICO, because here's the thing, and the reason I ask you this is you haven't launched your ICO yet. When you do, I'm actually kind of a little intrigued. I'm gonna do some more research and see if I have an interest in getting involved. But if I did, I would want to know that post ICO, you guys aren't just putting your heads in the sand coding and forgetting about the public like everybody else.
No.
You understand what I'm saying, though? It's like, and that just seems to be the norm right now. As companies, they get the money and then they disappear and they say, well, we've got our heads down, we're coding. You've already done a lot of work. You've already got the main net, right? Or the test nets up.
That's why we're doing things like this way. Because we believe that we must do something before raising money, especially from the public. That is our ethics.
I like that.
So actually, because that we have the very different way of doing things, that is having a lot of things done before ICO. And then after ICO, we will not be the norm. We will not like other things, they just go away. They say that we are developing. And actually, we've got the first version. Most of them, all parts they have already been launched. The major net, test net, the wallet, and the first app, and the whole ecosystem has been developed for at least the first version. So the following steps we are going to take is to do the ecosystem. Because we are a project of public chain like US and Ethereum, and we actually, as I described, we focused on the real-world application part. So actually, we are going to launch at least 50 projects on our blockchain within this year. So actually, the marketing strategy will be to attract users by the application, by the dApps running on our blockchain. That is the fastest way and smartest way to do that, I think.
I agree. That's a good way of doing it. Do you have relationships already being established now?
Yeah, because currently in China, we've already have, that is 12 projects in China. And for these projects, they are mostly like payments and advertisement sharing, this kind of stuff. But most of them are payments projects. Actually, we have already supported the payment, the channel of over 400,000 supermarkets in China. That is what we have already supported. And another system, another project we've already supported in our DBX ecology is the largest card issuer, the value card issuer, because you have the App Store card for Apple, this kind of card selling channel in China. They sell about 10 billion yuan, 10 billion RMB worth of card annually in China. And we are supporting them with crypto payment system. So actually, they have millions of users. And for the overseas project, we already cooperated with the housing project in Japan and in Southeast Asia. And we are still building more payment projects on our DBX blockchain. So hopefully, we are going to attract millions of users from the dApps, from the payment dApps running on the DBX chain. I think this is the fastest way to attract users to the blockchain.
Wow. I'm digging it, man. And it seems like a lot of people in chat are too. So hopefully as things continue to move forward and more people see this video, I think people are going to be very interested in this. DBX.one is the website. Any final points, any final comments, anything else that we didn't touch on that you want to make sure people hear before we sign off?
Okay. So actually, we are going to launch our ICO very soon. And maybe we get the legal opinion. We will begin that in America. And we hope that people can hear us because we have very different values, very different ethics from many other ICO projects. That is to do things first and then raise money. So we hope that people will look into our project because we also have the open source GitHub. We hope that people will look into our project deeply to get to know our difference.
Are you going to be at World CryptoCon in Vegas?
Kind of like that. And another thing is about airdrop, because we've already launched our airdrop project, and there will be huge airdrops. Yeah, DBX candy, a lot of candies offering now.
Okay. But yeah, I'm serious. Are you guys going to be at World CryptoCon in Vegas this year?
We believe we hopefully will join that, because I'm still not sure with the invitation issue, but I think we will try to get there.
Yeah, I'll be there for sure. I know a lot of my followers are planning to be out there.
That's cool. We'll try.
Yeah.
We're currently, I have American visa.
Oh, good. That's good. I think this is definitely going to be one to be a part of. I'm not going to lie. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. Look, Tommy, I dig this project. I'm probably going to go through the white paper now. Let's say I'm reading through the white paper and I have questions later. Can I just go into your Telegram and ask away? Is it an active Telegram with people
you
helping?
Can add me on Telegram.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll try.
Hold on, let me see here. Because you guys are just getting started. I think I looked earlier. Oh, you only have 59,000 people in Telegram.
Unfortunately. But I hope that will gain very fast, because we've already launched our airdrop.
I see. Okay. Yeah, you guys are like well on your way. So I'm going to be diving a little bit deeper into this. There are a couple projects. I need to just take a full day, because there are a few projects that I'm actually pretty interested in.
So many questions via Telegram.
Yeah, I will be in your Telegram soon, my friend, and I will be asking you all kinds of stupid questions. That you know, some of us are non-technical. I'm actually fairly technical. I'm just not a developer. So, you know, I ask what may appear to be stupid questions, probably because they are. I mean, let's be real about it. But I'm curious about how things work.
Ask this kind of question, so it's okay.
Okay, good deal. All right, man.
Okay.
Mr. Tommy Wen, I appreciate you. I enjoy the time. I enjoy listening to you, actually. Yeah, man, let's stay in touch, and I will be in your Telegram soon. Those of you in chat right now, make sure you go DBX.one. Make sure you join the Telegram. I will be in there. Follow them on Twitter, as I will be. I think I may already be. I'm not quite sure, but you've got tons of social media links. So, yeah, man, thank you very much. For the rest of you, I've got another interview I have to get ready for here in 15 minutes, so they're not giving me much time. I got a busy day, man. People won't leave me alone.
Good luck.
Thank you, sir. Good luck to you, and I look forward to this ICO.
Okay, talk to you back Telegram.
All right. See you. Have a good day. Crow your coins, folks. I'll be back in a little while.